Dan, do you want this UV vagina tattoo?
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be fucking sick. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Boneyard Arcade podcast. As always, I'm Lucky.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Grim. And I love that I'm like now waiting till like someone else says their name before I say mine.
Just look, as long as...
It's 2018, fucker.
I go
heard
first.
you hesitate and I was like, I'm going to step up.
It's 2018. I'm swapping the game up.
Dan's not hesitating though. He's like, I will put a pause here. And then...
No, it was a whisker longer than a pause and I knew it was my moment to step up to the plate.
It's a muff hair longer than a pause. And you know that how?
A blonde one.
A blonde one?
Yeah.
Why is it going to be
Watch
blonde?
AV.
Josh has got fluffy pubes. Like, well, I don't mean pubes like specifically like genital hair,
fluffy
but like
hair full stop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Soft
he's got
and, like,
soft,
thin,
like
fine.
down kind of
Yeah.
hair.
Like
and
a fluffy, you know, those cheap rugs that you get from like Flea Bay.
Josh is a cheap
One of those.
rug. Ladies,
I'll have a
contain
cheap
your
rug one day.
orgasms.
That shit you don't want to eat over the top of because you're never going to be able to get the crumbs out.
Yeah, it gets in there and it gets crispy and then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this thing's kind of got a life of its own.
So no mid-sex snacks for you
Yeah,
guys.
I can't
you
just
don't
lean
just
over
stop
and
and
be
check
like,
out what's on TV and eat
chicken
some
wings?
Well, actually, this one needs an eating blanket. She has an eating blanket at my house.
No, it's
Because I have white bedding.
Tell me about this blanket.
I have white bedding, you see, Dan. And I spent some money on this bedding. And I knew that with white, I could at least bleach out all the filth she'd put on there. But because Gabby is such a cleanly little, lovely little gremlin, she puts down a blanket so as not to drop things all over my bed
Aw.
when she chooses to eat in my room.
I specifically put a blanket down one time. I was like, I put down my eating blanket because I'm like really cute like that. And then I put the blanket down and we had fucking pizza. And then I get up, I fold up my eating blanket. I'm really proud and shit. And I leave the room and Josh was like, what the fuck? And I stuck my head in. I'm like, is there a problem? And he's like, how the fuck did you get pizza on the bed? I'm like, no, but I had the blanket. It was there. And he's just like, there's pizza
Bright
on the
red
bed.
tomato sauce on my
All over
I washed
shit.
it 2 days ago.
I'm
2
impressed.
days.
I'm impressed it's not a plastic sheet or something.
No, but I have considered it. I was going to get one of those
Usually-
ones out of the garage from painting and just throw it over the thing.
Oh, I don't need a drop cloth. That's
You need-
not what I
You
need.
just have to do what I've done.
What's that?
Just rip the fucking carpet up
And get a couch.
and have wood and have a couch here, but don't eat on it. Like sit over on the other side of the room and just
This
eat.
is your eating blanket.
That's
the
my
entire
eating
floor.
blanket is a wooden floor.
Look at all this space for eating that I have.
Look at
That's
all
all
this
I
room
do.
for activities.
Yeah.
It's really hot in here. All right.
It's fucking,
Why are you so
I told you,
sweaty?
you
We
wore
sh-
jeans today.
I know. I'm
up.
fucked up. And I'm wearing a grey shirt. I'm gonna
Even I
sweat
pulled
through
on
it.
the shorts for this one.
I know.
I was gonna ask white shorts. I could not do white shorts. How do you do white shorts? I can't do
bought
white
them
shorts.
ages ago and I had like a few choices of what was in my wardrobe and I was like, guess I'm wearing white ones because they go with everything.
Okay.
That's not the correct answer. Correct answer is he's from the northern beaches, right? Everybody from the northern
I go on
beaches.
a lot of
Where's my
boats.
shorts?
And,
That's
you
it.
know,
See, it's the sailor look, like,
Like-
and he should be wearing loafers, but
I
he's
walked
where's
down
not.
the boat
beach
shoes?
with,
The boat
look-
shoes?
The boat
with my
shoes.
six
Polo?
pack and
Tan and
Yeah.
where's the
Yeah.
polo with the obnoxious logo on the
Well,
front?
no,
And
what
the
I do,
Gucci.
I wear these. I walk down the beach. I have my hair all slicked back, and instead of a shirt, I'm topless. I've got on like a knit jumper just tied around my neck.
Yeah, just a sweater. You're
Yeah.
draping the sweater.
It's too hot for a shirt, but I'm gonna tie that jumper
I
on my
shit
neck.
you not. When I went to London, every dude that went out to a bar was like they would walk out in their polo shirt, but they'd have the sweater over their
I
shoulders.
don't get it.
And I remember
It
being
gets
drunk.
cold in the evening.
I don't care.
No, because I was drunk. And I went up to one of them.
Dan,
and I
I'm
went,
surprised.
Yeah, right? I went up to one of them and I went, "Oi, come here, I gotta ask you a question." And they just instantly knew I wasn't from around there. Because I was like, "Oi, fuck it, come here, I gotta ask
Oh,
a
you
question."
can't fucking get out of here.
And they came over and I went, "I gotta ask you a fucking question. Have been to like 6 pubs today. And the thing I'm seeing everywhere, regardless of the kind of pub I've gone into, is chinos, yeah, no problem. Polo shirt, yeah, no problem. But all of you have draped a fucking, like a sweater over your shoulders and it's got a very special particular tie. And it's like you've done it in a special knot and it's sitting in a special spot, you know?
Yeah.
Like why? Do you wear it?
Why
like,
do you do this?
do you put it on, or is this just? Do you buy that shit tied up, and do you drape it from the
does
store?
it come pre-tied?
Yeah.
Like
It's actually
you know how
stitched.
You
Yeah.
can buy
You can't wear this
bandanas,
jumper.
Yeah.
and they come like pre-tied, and you just like come pre. You put it on, and it's just like it's already done for you, so you can take it off and put it back on. I did that with a tie that I had in high school. I tied it once, and then I just wore it like that for the
Yeah.
rest of high school for about 5 years.
Yeah.
How long is high school? Oh god, I didn't say longer than
5?
high school. Did I?
5? Probably 5 or 6. I don't
I don't
know.
remember.
5, 6, 7, 12.
I think it's 5.
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. Okay.
I'm recording.
This is very
And hard cut.
hard cut. Did they stop putting chicken salt on the chips? So, what were we talking about? Can't remember.
Stupid fucking cardigan sweater things.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
It was all about Hugh Grant.
The guy who started it all.
Yeah,
Is he the reason that it's a thing?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's so fancy. Wouldn't you want to look like him?
No, actually,
So British.
he's pretty dreamy, but I'm more of like a Ewan McGregor girl.
I heard he was a complete fuck though.
Oh,
I would
really?
believe that.
He was supposed to be a massive fuckhead.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Where is he now? Anyway,
don't know.
is he alive?
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
of course he's alive.
He's not dead, right?
Last time
He's
I
off
saw him,
being
he was the
politely
president
British.
or
Just drinking
prime
tea
minister.
all the fucking time.
That's what they do.
Just
You go into retirement and you drink tea.
eating
That's
scones.
I
it
remember
is
he was on
to be
Top Gear
English.
and he said he had tremendous bollock pain. It was lower back pain that manifested in bollock pain, and that's why he had to sell his Bentley or something. And
My balls hurt. I have to sell my car.
He had to get a different car because the seating position in the Bentley was not conducive.
I thought he had to sell his car because he wasn't working in movies anymore and needed his
No,
testicles
purely because his balls hurt.
surgically repaired and didn't have the money for it. So I was like, fuck, better sell my Bentley. I can't do
Was
the...
that an English accent?
wasn't.
Oh, fuck off.
It wasn't.
That was amazing. Sorry to all of our
It
English
wasn't.
viewers
Someone
out there.
isolate that.
All three of
It
you.
was.
Turn it
If you're
into
English,
trap
let us
music or
know in the
something.
comments. Tell us where you're from in the comments. That'll be fun. That's always a laugh. So we're like 15 minutes into the fucking show now or something. We should probably talk
Who
about
knows?
something constructive.
We went and saw Tomb Raider.
We did. We certainly did that.
That is a fact.
We did. What did you think about it? I mean, we've had Tomb Raider movies happen before. They had Angelina Jolie in them.
I like her.
That was a pretty good reason to see him.
Yes. This one had... I always call her Alicia, but I learned last night that it was Alicia.
Oh, okay. Right.
that's what she
yeah,
says.
I said
And
Alicia
if
as
she
well.
says Alicia, then it's Alicia Vikander.
If she says her name is this, it's like, no, that's fucking bullshit.
You're wrong. Let me tell you why you're fucking
Aluminum.
stupid.
Yep, I would argue.
Yeah. Alicia Vikander. She's the new Tomb Raider. It's based more on the new games.
Yeah.
Where Lara wears pants.
I know, I was a bit disappointed by that.
Yeah. She wears long pants and a more toned down sort of singlet instead of that tight, turquoisey one.
Yeah.
She also has a bandage on her arm.
Yeah.
Trademark bandage.
She had
carries an
sensibly
ice pick.
sized boobs.
Yeah.
And she ran around and there was proper sports barrage.
Yeah.
It wasn't just gratuitous slow-mo boobs.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain that the main tool that she used, besides the bow and arrow, was this ice pick. But she wasn't in a winter setting. She was on an island setting. So the fact that there was an ice pick there is...
It's a rock climbing
I think it was an
tool.
ice pick. I don't know. Is it rock climbing?
I don't know if they just use them. It's probably the same thing, but
Yeah.
I think
climbing ice, climbing rocks.
I think
use it for the same.
it's a rock climbing tool. Also, tread carefully if you haven't seen the movie. There might be spoilers that we talk about. Otherwise,
Yeah.
whatever.
But
obviously.
if you've played the game, you've seen the movie.
you know that they're going to include those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it's it's an origin story.
That's it.
If you know the origin already, you kind of know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of it? Did you like it?
I mean, I didn't come out of it hating it. I was like, you know what? I've seen it. I probably won't watch it again.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I sat here and hated the movie the whole way through.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's a video game movie that they haven't fucked up. For one, because video game movies, you can fuck a video game movie up very easily.
Oh, yeah.
But it was okay. It wasn't amazing. I can't say it was like my favorite thing. It's not being added to my favorite movies list, and I'm definitely not going to come home after a night of being out with friends or whatever and be like, I just want to watch a movie I enjoy and put on Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all right. I would say watch it once.
Yeah. Okay. Josh, what do you reckon?
I found it sat, like kind of what you were saying there. It sat right in the middle of average. It was definitely not terrible, like worth a watch, but it was just plodded along. There was nothing particularly stand out. There were a few little maybe not editing things, not continuity, but just little things that I noticed, and I was like, just a little bit of a reality breaker.
Yeah.
Certain little tiny moments, but other than that, and that's just me being really picky. But other than that, it was good, but not great. Definitely not a bad film though. I would definitely see it. I'd bother to go out and watch it.
Okay. Yep.
Look, I thought it was pretty good, like considering how many bad movie video game adaptations that have been made into movies we've had. Like there've been so fucking many that have just been not good. This one was enjoyable. Like I liked Alicia as Lara, but I only liked her at the end.
Yep.
Like when everything had kind of like come to a head and stuff like that. Like,
I just enjoyed her Britishness.
Of course you did. That's,
Frothing the entire way through.
Is she actually British?
I'm not, I think she is.
Don't ask
She is?
me. Where's
I
Chloe
can't
when you need
remember.
her?
Yeah,
Chloe would
Chloe's not
fucking
here.
know. Chloe's not here. That's why you've got, 2 peens and a semi-peen. So, a kind of peen. But like,
There's an episode title there. 2 peens and a semi.
sorry. Yeah, like I was kind of like meh at the end of it,
Yeah.
but I was like, look, it's a step in the right direction for like the video game genre of movies.
Yeah.
There are things that there was the beginning to me dragged on for ages. I was just like, can we just fucking just get to the fucking part where, you know, stuff happens, and like I get it that she's not yet Lara, and they're setting it up like heaps hard for an origin, like she's not where she's meant to be yet, and it's like that kind of shat me the most. It's just like, but I think they had to kind of like do that for people who didn't really know the story of Lara Croft and like Tomb Raider and where it all started kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd give it a solid 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6, 7. I mean, in real reviews, like, you know, none of this 10 out of 10, it was the best thing in the world BS, but yeah, I'd say that was a solid 6, 7 kind of movie.
Yeah. It reminded me of The Mummy, in a sense, the remake of The Mummy. Not because the theme, you know, the theme wasn't the same or anything, but I felt the same way about this as I did the new Tom Cruise version of The Mummy.
Okay, all right.
Because we had previous adaptations of this.
Yeah.
On the big screen before, and with Tomb Raider you've got your video games that you've played as well. Video games came in 2 different styles. It was the old school ones with Lara, who was well established as an adventurer, who went in, you know, found all these treasures. Yeah, she knew what she was up to, she knew what her direction was, and she smashed it. And then you've got the new games that were her origin. She's younger, she's not quite sure about herself in this setting, and she's learning about herself, and this movie was leaning more towards that. And so when I looked at last night's movie and came out of it and was like, I mean, it was okay, I enjoyed it. It reminded me of the old the way the old Mummy movies were, and how they made me feel as someone who enjoyed those. And then watching Tom Cruise's version going, it wasn't bad, particularly because it was very up to speed with what technology we've got now for, you know, for effects and shit. But I still wouldn't go back and be like, I'm watching that fucking movie again. It was like, I've seen it. And I can tell people I've seen it, and I can tell them, you know what, go and see it. Because it's a good movie, but it's not a movie that's going to be a cult classic or
I agree.
You know, something you go back to.
I agree.
If the old Tomb Raider movies weren't as cheesy as they used to be, because I mean, the ones that had Angelina in them, she's a perfect Lara Croft.
I agree.
But the stories were a little bit like over the top in the cheesiness in some parts.
And I think at the time, like especially off the back of the original Tomb Raider games, it was kind of like you had to go for the big adventures. Like it you know, if you're going to have an action movie based on a game, you kind of had to take it to the level that games take things to. Like in the fantasy, you know, realm of things like that. But what I really liked about Alicia in the new movie was how fucking tank she was. Like when she did her action sequences, she looked like she was fucking going for it. And I was like, get it, girl. And I watched that and I was like, that was like the best part of it for me, was watching her fight and like, you know, be like actiony and like run around and shit. Like she had Uggo face when she was running. She was like, rah, 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 and I was like, bitch,
it was purposeful.
motoring.
It was good. It was actually, you know, it was less like wire fighting and flapping and, you know, just doing dumb things because you could. And it was like proper gritty, trying to look real action, which is good.
I did find myself counting how many arrows she had in her quill.
I do that
You're
all
worse
the
than
time.
me.
I was like, how many fucking arrows has she got? Because she running around firing that shit like
She's
it's a
like a
semi-automatic
bam.
machine gun. But how many has she got?
I was doing that in like I rewatched totally going off topic here. I rewatched The Walking Dead recently, and having been to Texas, having actually like fired a gun for once in my life, and you know, loading the chamber of a gun and like a magazine and stuff like that, I was like, you know, watching people on the show shoot zombies, and it's just like, it's like that clip is just fucking endless. It's just like it's down to here pretty much. So I thought that was interesting that you brought up the arrows.
And it was the first thing I looked for. I was like, she's running around, she's just like, whoa, like, you know, shooting all these guys everywhere, and I'm thinking, how many does she have back there that she can just pull
How many
out?
you got? You making them like, did they come out of your bum? Did you put them in there before?
Stack of 64.
Jesus Christ.
That was the one thing I looked out for.
Then this kind of tacks on to something that I wanted to talk about, because I brought it up on Twitter before we went and saw the movie. I was like, do good video game movies exist? Do you guys do you have like, can you think of anything? Because I don't know if you're like, you're not big into them.
I mean,
if they made a Minecraft movie, you'd be all over that.
You know what I really wanted to see, and they still haven't done it? the Halo film.
Yeah.
They've been talking
Okay.
about that thing for literally about a decade now.
Yeah.
It was meant to be Peter Jackson or something doing it.
Yeah, I always wanted to see it just as an animated film.
Wasn't there a low budget version put out though?
Forward Unto
they-
Dawn.
they-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they did the miniseries, but they also did, they did like a live action trailer for something, and they said this is almost like a dry run for how we would shoot a Halo film. This is our example.
Yeah.
And there's a warthog in it, and
I remember that now.
yeah, I can't remember what it was for.
But Forward
it
Unto
might be
Dawn was
for
the
Reach
low
or
budget
for Halo 4 or
thing.
5 or
Yeah.
something. One of the games, I think it was a live action thing, and it was like, we have to get this package to somewhere, we have to get this to the chief or to this or that. And
Yeah.
it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna
But
see
I
it
always
done
wanted
still.
to see it as an animated thing. Just do it like the cutscenes. Just make it beautiful.
Yeah.
And I
Have
will be
you
happy.
have you got a favorite video
Mine
game
was a lot of. I was so surprised when I asked, what's been a good, like, successful video game movie. The reaction that I got, and like the number one thing that people said was fucking good, was the Mortal Kombat movie, the
Yeah.
first fucking
Yeah.
Mortal
Okay.
Kombat movie,
'Cause-
and I agree 4,000%.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It is the best fucking video game movie there is.
It's
so far.
crossed over into the cult classic
Yeah.
category now.
100%.
Yeah.
I told you one day that I was in JB and I was like rifling through the discount bins and shit. I was just like, what horrible things can I find here? And I found Mortal Kombat and I
Yep.
was like, and it was like $4 and I was just like, ugh. So I bought it and I messaged Dan. I'm like, don't hate me, but I bought Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
and
no.
you're just like, I know we were friends for a reason. So yeah, that's my favorite, and that's what people seem to like.
Can't go wrong with Mortal Kombat though.
Do you reckon that's the one?
Yeah, I mean, I liked that.
Yeah.
I also really liked Resident Evil 1.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of them was shit.
Yeah.
Um,
They kind of like trailed off.
Yeah, second one wasn't too bad.
Mm.
But once they just got higher in the number, they also got shitter in quality to me. Like the CGI picked up.
Yeah.
But like,
Stories are gone.
yeah.
Mm.
The first one was awesome, and I think it was just because they had like music sampled by Marilyn Manson in it,
Yeah.
and the setting was perfect. That Mila Jovovich was awesome.
She's so hot.
Yeah.
She's really attractive.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a well thought out movie. You know?
Eh.
They didn't have to take you to the amazing places in the world. They literally did it in one building that's underground, and it
Yeah.
was just, zombies galore.
Yeah.
I thought that was sick.
I rated Silent Hill. I think I showed you
Oh,
Silent
yeah.
Hill.
I hadn't seen that, and you showed it to me.
Yeah.
Brilliant film.
I liked it a lot because it was just one of those things that just looked really pretty,
Yeah.
and then it just got super fucked up. And it's like, the actress in it wasn't like my favorite, and like I didn't, I was like, bleh, whatever. But like I was honestly like, I felt gross when I
Yeah.
watched certain parts of it. I was just like, I feel unsettled.
Good
which is
inspiration
great.
for photography as well. Like
Yeah.
just looking at all the like really well crafted horror
It's all
and like
grungy looking,
abandonment and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I liked
Just-
Doom as well. I liked the Doom movie. How bad is that? It's not good.
I remember trying to watch Doom, but it's just because I don't know. When I was younger, I was always into Quake more than I was into Doom.
oh yeah.
And so for me, yeah, I know. I played
No,
Doom,
it's
and I was
fair.
like, I mean, I've played Quake now, and you're just a shitter version of Quake.
It's like you in Fortnite now.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
more PUBG for Dan.
Yeah, no, I'm like Fortnite now. Like,
Moving on.
yeah, something else will come along. But it's funny because video games, and mentioning video games, in connection to movies, it's funny to see when a movie comes about because of a video game, and when a video game comes about because of a movie,
Right.
they're usually equally shit in quality.
Yes.
Yeah, they struggle to cross over. But what's interesting is a wise man once said, Mr. Bernie Burns, he was saying that in his eyes, a video game is more immersive than a movie because you're doing,
100%.
you are the main character. And
Yeah.
so when they make a video game movie, it's actually more of a step backwards. And
Yeah.
I guess it kind of rings true. Like a lot of the time they really don't capture that sort of, there's something different.
It's
it just
something,
doesn't.
yeah, it's something special about having a story that you control.
And I think you invest more time in a video game. It's
That's right.
like you might do it over, a full week of playing, or a month of just playing on the weekend or something like that, and you just grow attached to it, and it's crafted the way you want it to be.
Yeah, it's funny because the Ghostbusters had 2 movies,
Mm-hmm.
and they had the story for a third one written,
Oh.
but they didn't make it. So when they brought out a video game for the Ghostbusters video game, I don't think it even had a different title. They literally just referred to it as Ghostbusters, the video game,
Yeah.
and it was the story that they wanted to use for the third movie,
That's weird.
and they made it into a video game.
Did you ever play it? Like, was
Yeah,
it?
I've finished it like
Oh, okay.
3 or 4 times, and
Okay.
it's
But was
I mean,
it good?
it
That
was
doesn't
very
mean
good.
anything. Oh,
yeah,
it was.
It was great because it literally put you in the shoes of a Ghostbuster. You controlled the proton packs, you took the upgrades, you caught the and it did
Yeah.
everything the Ghostbusters did and put you in their shoes. The whole story is that you become the apprentice. You get taught by the guys themselves how to be a Ghostbuster, and
that's so cool.
And it was really well done. And it's just funny because they went down the path of going, our guys are too old to start with to jump into the suits, run around and teach someone how to be a Ghostbuster. Secondly, none of them want to work together anymore. They don't like each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we need to do this somehow,
else.
so let's make it into a video game. It's a good way to do it. And it was interesting because that was actually successful because they gave you the movie and then they gave you a whole new story based on the movies and went, here, play it out yourself.
Yeah, it's like you figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to put you into the position. And I think that's the only time I've played a video game, like based on a movie, that for me has worked quite nicely.
Well, I'm struggling to think of games that came about because of movies.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone back and played the Spider-Man games that were based on the films.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of sucked.
I only ever played the demo on, I think it was PC.
Yep.
And I just remember web slinging my way around this like closed off invisible wall city, and they were like, you can't go any further than that.
Yeah.
And that was all I got from it.
Yeah.
I just web slung around for like the hour time limit of the demo and just restarted it a few times. And I was like, well, this is great fun.
Yeah, there were early PlayStation renditions of Spider-Man games. I don't even know if they were based on movies or anything at all, but they were really good. But then when the movies started coming out, they made games based around the movies.
Yep.
And you were just limited because they were like, we've set the story out for you. You've already seen it. You know what's going to happen, but we're putting you in Spider-Man's shoes. And people were like, I don't give a fuck. You've given me all these limitations.
Yeah.
I can't be Spider-Man. I have to go down the path you want me to go down.
Yeah.
And I can only do half the shit I saw in the movie. Like, I'm not interested in this.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Was that the one that wasn't free roam or something? There was
it was
Spider-Man. I remember, this was ages ago, I think. There was one that wasn't free roam, and there was one they did after that, and they were like, it's free roam again, it's so much better.
Yeah.
And everyone was really, really, really like upset that you couldn't just do your own thing in the city.
Yeah. I've played all of those games, and I own, I think, 90% of them.
I don't doubt that for a second.
One. Yeah. There was one that I didn't buy, and I think it was the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that was because it was so glitchy and fucked up that it was not worth buying, apparently. So,
jeez.
Yeah. So I didn't buy it. So it's just interesting to see, like, if you can control more of that world, you probably will enjoy the video game version of it, unless it's already been a movie and then they haven't executed it well because they've been in a rush to get it out while the movies come out.
Yeah.
And you've just ended up with like a half-assed project that they've gotten onto a disc so you can play it.
I've always worried about the Halo film. Like when they first started talking about it, I was super on board.
Yep.
But these days I worry because Halo 4,
yeah.
Halo 5, didn't like it.
Halo 5,
and I was like one of the biggest diehard Halo fans you could ever imagine back when they were new. Yeah. Midnight launch, all that jazz, buying all the memorabilia. I have a Halo bag, which I still use to this day from like back when I was in high school from ThinkGeek. Yeah. I love that thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm falling off the bandwagon. They haven't been nailing it. And so I worry that if they did a movie, it would be sort of getting off that original path, which is what I really liked. If they maybe redid the first 3 story arc and just really nailed it in an hour and a half, 2 hours of film.
Is there a game that hasn't been made into a movie yet that you'd want to see made into a movie?
For the longest time I've wanted, and now that I think about it, I probably am more thankful that they haven't made it into a movie.
Yeah, I'm feeling this more and more now.
Yeah. Was the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yes.
Okay. Just because
it's so interesting.
Yeah, as a kid, and it's funny because this game affected me so much as a kid. I remember being given it by my cousin on the PlayStation 1, and I played it so much and became so obsessed with that game that there were nights that I couldn't sleep. And it wasn't because I was like, "Hey, Mum, I can't sleep. I'm too excited." No, I would close my eyes, and all I could see was me playing, like what I was seeing on the screen. I was like playing it in my head while my eyes were shut, and I was like, "This is fucked."
I did that with Bejeweled, and I was like, "Oh my god, thank Christ, this isn't like the Pokies or something," because I'd be broke.
You know the aquarium with
I went. There was Bejeweled Blitz. It was on Facebook. It was competitive, and I wanted to be the best. And it was 60 seconds, and you just go again and again and again. And I played it so much, it was like 3 a.m, and I went, "Oh my god, I'm an addict," and I had to go to sleep. And so I put myself to sleep, and all I could see was those sliding jewels in my head.
Our stories are so they're so similar.
They're exactly the same thing.
But we overcame our addiction. That's why video games aren't bad.
Well, I mean, for me, I would close my eyes and do you know Psycho Mantis?
Yeah.
He would be there and he'd be like,
to play Castlevania.
Yeah, and he'd be like, he'd be pointing at me and shit. And in my head, I was like, he's in front of me. I need to like get to this part and finish it.
Oh god.
And so I obsessed like that. Bejeweled.
Well,
It's just like it's so similar but so polar opposites.
One of my
Jules,
friends,
man, they're going to get me.
Alex, played COD so much that one time, you know when someone sprays their wipers in a car and it whips like a string of water off?
Yeah.
He saw the water shoot off and thought it was the trail of a grenade that you see when they throw it at you. And he was like, he went to duck or something.
Oh, yeah.
Because he saw it throw water and he thought it was the line.
Yep.
That's how like, built into him it was.
We're learning how sad we are right now.
Oh, I fucking knew
Hey,
it, but
yeah.
like now the world is knowing how sad
At
we
least
are.
we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
What
I went to Chloe's pole class.
Oh yeah, how was
and
that?
the door was open.
Were there any grenades?
Well, no, but see, the thing is, I was playing PUBG like for hours on end. And I'm there at her pole class, and I looked out the door, and across the street there is like it's not a car yard, but they like do detailing shit across the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stereo installations and whatever else. But there's like a big hill in front of this place. It's a grass hill, there's trees and shit on it. And there was a guy walking through the trees, but then he stopped and leant on a tree, and instantly I was like, what is that dude doing? He's hiding behind a tree, he's coming closer, and instantly I was just waiting for him to get shot.
Well, he was on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
So he was probably going to be doing the shooting.
Yeah, and I was like, is he packing right
He's
now?
just
Like,
fucking
yeah.
sus cunt
And I was
over
just
here.
watching, I trailed him the whole time that I'd forgotten I was even at pole. And I was like doing that, like,
Leaning,
yeah.
make
like,
it look subtle.
trying to look around
You
the
should have
trees.
aimed at him. If it went red, you'd know he was bad.
Sometimes you just get so obsessed with shit that you just end up fucking like being there all the time.
Yeah.
Have you had this? Is this a thing? I know you love your katamari. You ever just fucking roll down the stairs?
Dude. So if it wasn't Insane Aquarium, which is the game where you feed the fish and you get the jewels and shit, kind of like Josh over
Love
here,
that
but like a
game.
little bit more intense because you have like you've got fish, you've got
Hey, it's
living
all
creatures.
PopCap.
You shut your fucking face.
Don't get too up on your horse.
With Katamari, I got that game, like I ordered it online and I got it and I was just like, I'm gonna get fucked up on Katamari, and so I would play it and I would play it for fucking hours, and it was just hours and hours of the Katamari Damansi, and it's me going like this the whole time.
Wow.
And then I unlocked a mode when you finish We Love Katamari, or Katamari Forever, you unlock a mode called I can't remember. It's like Forever or Eternal or something. And basically you can roll extra fast. Like it pushes the thing for you, so you don't have to move your sticks forward.
Oh, okay.
And it's just constantly moving.
Yeah.
I got motion sickness from it, and I would close my eyes to try and relax and be like, no more Katamari. And then I would close my eyes, but then the Katamari would still be rolling under my eylids, and I was like, and I was getting fucking dizzy from closing my eyes, so I had to like go outside and watch cars or some shit like go past, so I'd be like, this is the real world.
Yeah.
And when you close your eyes, it'll go away.
Yeah.
So, but also that's the movie that I would like to see made. I like to see
Katamari
Katamari
movie.
turn into a real movie.
How the
I
fuck
would
do you make a
love to know
Katamari
the
movie? That'd
script.
be interesting.
It would
Yeah.
just be, it's the
feel
king.
like-
Have you
You know
not
what?
know the king of all cosmos
Yeah.
talks like a fucking crazy person? Like,
does.
you know how you go to like Parramatta and you go to like a back alley and there's the ice addict and he's like, they're fucking under my
Yeah,
skin,
yeah.
cunt, so I
That's
gotta
the
go
king.
fuck. That's the king.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's how he
to
talks.
borrow a dollar. I gotta go see my man. Like that.
Our junkie
Just
voices
like that.
are not good. But yeah, I'd want to see the Katamari movie. How
Okay.
much time we got left?
I mean, if they've got the emoji movie, then they can make a Katamari movie.
It would be great though.
Yeah.
There's got to be more
I would want it to
plot
be
a
like
Katamari
I would
movie.
want it to be like action, film noir, sci-fi.
Yeah.
Even if they made it a short film.
No, it would have to be at least
Full
4
feature?
hours.
All right, okay, extended cut.
Yes, for Katamari Forever.
It's still better than Batman vs Superman.
Still
And
better love
Justice
story
League.
than Twilight.
Yeah, fuck that.
Prince and his Katamari? Yes. and the king and the king? Yes. The king loves the king. Have you seen the king? Oh my god. Put a picture of the king
fantastic
here.
game.
He's fucked up. It's the best thing ever.
Josh hates that bit. Every time we put something up on the screen,
I just know it's something I've got to go and find later. And I can't be making notes. And my hands are too greasy from all this food that magically appeared.
Yeah, fuck.
How did that? Is
I'm
this
so
my
full.
Pepsi? Whose Pepsi is this?
I think it's your Pepsi.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know how
We've
much
all got
time we have
sweet braids.
left. How much time we have left? Feels like we talked forever.
We can probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
Make it a
I'm
short.
warm.
hot as
It's
fuck in
fucking
this
Quick
so
game's a
hot
good
in
game.
here.
You may have
lights are
noticed me
ridiculous.
going,
Yeah, I'm getting
disgusting.
sweaty and I'm like,
"Does anyone
don't
see?"
touch your face.
Yeah.
My problem is I got all greasy from the chicken.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I can't wipe it on my shorts because they're white. You may have heard. Can't wipe it on my shirt because that's super
It's
obvious.
great. You can check your phone through your pocket if you wipe the grease on the.
That's
It's your window to weight
disgusting.
gain.
That is disgusting.
Be awesome.
All right.
You might have noticed that we didn't have the challenge wheel this week because we had it last week.
Chloe wasn't here as
Well,
well.
we also decided that it's a
we
great
gotta make
gap
her suffer
filler,
too.
and maybe we'll do it like every third or fourth episode, and we'll throw it up there, and that way we can plan some real absolutely disgusting or fun shit to
Dan
do.
came up
Last
with
week
the
of the month, something like
best
that. We'll work
fucked
it
up
out.
idea.
Yeah.
Let you
and
know.
Yeah.
I'm keen to do something, but we'll like dedicate some
We'll
time.
dedicate a fucking episode to that kind of thing
Yeah.
once
And
a
if
month
you
or
guys have
something.
suggestions, I mean, you know,
Tell
send them
us.
our way.
We'll
Comments.
do some polls and shit online.
No
so that
guarantees
people
we'll
can
do 'em.
suggest things. That'll
Because it'll be
work
like,
well.
hey, Dan, jump through a glass table.
I know, fuck, like
Glass table.
If it lands on any of the segments, Dan's got to jump through a glass table.
it'll hurt.
It
be
will
fine.
cut you and you will bleed out and die.
Subscribe to the channel because we're good and stuff. You can find us on social media. You can find me at Lucky Bones.
You can find me at Josh_Florence.
Are you sure?
I think so.
All right.
I
And
meant to fix all those.
And
So-
I'm Grim Bones on everything now.
Follow us at Boneyard Arcade as well. Hit us up with questions, anything that you want to see on Challenge Wheel in future episodes, or anything that you want to talk about. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.
And tell us what you thought about Tomb Raider.
Yeah, sure. Tell us what you thought about it.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.